All right, last week on the pod, I took some heat from my younger brother Michael
He's gonna be in a
on my
three-piece
apparel,
suit.
and so tonight it's a pleasure to be with you guys.
Unbelievable.
And I'm not afraid to don a little
No
newspaper.
way.
the
Is
Bruce.
that
This
from
is my.
Granddad's closet?
This is from London.
Oh, that's
I
right. You
Yeah.
bought
So
yeah, a chapeau.
welcome in. It's interesting to see a few of you guys in hoodies. Michael's actually in a beanie, which is could not have painted it any better that this man would have the audacity to show up in a beanie. I'm here to
Yours
interview Coach Mike Wilbanks of the Shelby High Golden Lions. What are you two guys doing?
Listen, your beanies always have the pom-pom on top, which I think brings a certain energy with them. But I will say I love what you've done to the pod tonight. I respect the energy that you brought to it, and I think that we're going to get off to a great episode right here.
All right.
Absolute mad respect. Love it. Coach Wilbanks just walking into one tonight.
Very European looking there.
That's right.
Many have called me Euro Dave before because of when I got into Europe first time out of the country, I found a new man inside. The small cups.
You're a Tour de France guy, so
That's right.
Dude, you just
Wait,
had a tag on something though. What was that on your wrist?
Grip. Momo got me this jacket for Christmas last year, and I completely forgot I had it. That's the first time I've worn it.
Bro. All right, hang on. Well, first of all, shout out Momo for the inaugural jacket breakout here on the pod. David Ray, I want you to do something for me though, because right now
I know
you
what
are
you're gonna
giving.
say, Michael.
You turn that hat around backwards. Let me see that thing in 360, baby. See, now I feel like you want to play the 3-card Monty. Now I feel like you want to hustle me out of a couple bucks, and
I thought you were gonna ask me to stand up, and I wasn't gonna do that because this is not fully buttoned. I have pajama pants on.
Yeah.
Dad, go ahead. You can take it away from here. I just had to start.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to Two Daves and a Mic. I'm DA along with D Ray and Michael Allen, the Allen boys, and we are proud to have Coach Mike Wilbanks with us tonight. And I don't know if he knew what he was getting into. Well, he does because he knows us all too well. He knows exactly what he's getting into.
I know what I'm getting into, and I guess I know I never know.
That's right.
Is a good way to say it.
Oh my goodness, Coach! I'm gonna tell you, we've been with you, and we have been excited about what's coming up and how the team has been playing. Lord have mercy. I mean, it's hard to know where to start. Lamb Farmer obviously has had a record-breaking year, and over this run in the playoffs, he has been so efficient. I mean, he had 242 yards passing on 11 completions Friday night against Lincoln. Also ran the ball, I think, for 75 yards himself in that ball game. Land has just been almost a one-man wrecking crew on offense. And then you go into that Lincoln game, after a shootout when we played them back in October, 35-34, and a game that went to overtime. And holy cow, Coach Barkley and the defense just absolutely dominated the football game. So just quickly, before we get into the state championship talk, tell us about last Friday night at Lincoln.
Well, I'll talk about Land first. His playoff run, starting with the Burns game, I thought he was dialed in when we played Burns there the last game of the regular season, and then it's just carried over. I don't know what his playoff completion percentage is, but I would guess it's somewhere around 80, wow. Maybe a hair over 80%. He has been, oh man, just spot on. I've never seen a kid so focused and so determined. I guess he is taking it upon himself now. There's nothing, obviously it's 11 men on the field and it's a whole team game, but it's almost on a high school level, almost Tim Tebow-ish. He is kind of taking it upon himself to will his team to win. And it's fun to watch. And it's fun to watch for a kid. And I told him after the game, Lincoln, I just told him that, throughout the season, I had been praying for him specifically. I prayed for all, the team, but because he took a lot of heat early on, and he's taken a lot of heat from a lot of people, and a lot of people who are Shelby supporters. And but he took it. He took it like a champ, and he kept working. And I told him, I said, man, I'm just so happy for you I said, I'll get to coach again next year, and I've coached in these kind of games before, but I'm happy for you to be able to get here, just because of what he's been through, with the injuries, with the criticisms, with the, losing the Kings Mountain and Crest at the beginning of the year. People were on him, but he never flinched, man, and it is paying off now, and he's kind of got a chip on his shoulder right now, and it's a good thing to see. And then just the length of the game as a whole. I think when the playoff brackets came out, I think when we left Lincolnton October 10th, our team knew the better team may have let one slip away. And Lincolnton's a really good football team. I'm not taking anything away from them, but I think we felt like we left some plays on the field, and we were not worried about having to see them again. So when the playoff brackets came out, I felt like I said, man, they'll probably beat some of those guys, even though they're an 8 seed. I think they're good enough to beat Hendersonville, good enough to beat Mountain Heritage, and we could see them again. And it happened that way. And our guys, man, last week at practice, there was no motivation needed. They were spot on in everything we were doing, all the packages we were working on. And then it came Friday night. And, as soon as we got off the charter bus, I don't think anybody was in the stadium hardly. It's like 5:30, 5:40. We're walking down the field, just kind of trickling down the field to our makeshift locker room, and the wolf just starts howling in, and we just kind of grinned.
It's the only time he howled on Friday night.
Yeah, we just kind of grinned at each other. It was like, all right, man, let's do it. But we're here, let's do it. And man, we performed on all, and take 2 turnovers away inside the 10, and it might be a little bit uglier, but other than those 2 fumbles, we played almost a perfect game. I mean, it was great. It was great to see him play.
Coach, I love seeing Land run because he runs mad. I mean, when he breaks the pocket, I'd said earlier in the season, when I think it was at the Crest game, it's hard to compare anybody to Cam Newton, but he has that kind of like when he runs the read option and he puts his head down, yeah, that's a hard guy to tackle. And same in the secondary. The receivers have been equally as elusive as Land has been strong when they catch the football. You got 3 or 4 dudes on that team who, if they get the ball in stride, they're hard to tackle. So I'm excited to see what the offense has got in store this week.
He, if you're playing us, you got I don't know which receiver you key on. I think in the Eastern Randolph game, we completed passes to 9 different people. And to watch Land run, you're right. He does run angry. And I think he runs that way because he has spent a lot of time in the weight room. And that is a 225-pound strong guy. We're talking about 450 squatter, 280 cleaner. I mean, he's not just big, but he is a strong, and he's gotten faster. So you put all those things together, and not many DBs want to square him up. So, I mean, I think a college coach came by last week and talked to him. He's like, man, he's as big as some of our linebackers. And I said, yeah, man, he just put together. But a lot of fun. And he has just gotten to a point where he don't care who the receivers are. He knows his reads. He knows where he's supposed to put the ball. And I told the receivers, because a few of them went down, Eastern Randolph, we weren't sure how they were going to be last week. I said, whoever's in better be ready because the ball's going to be put on you. So you better be ready to make a play. And it's been nice to see. And this is a team a little bit different than teams we've had in the past. We've always had receivers that kind of, receivers, they'll get – it's not bad, but they'll get a little bit moody. Give me the ball. But not this group. This group has been really good at just whoever's open, get them the ball, let's win. Let's go. So that's been a lot of fun.
Well, speaking of this group, Emmanuel and Lorenzo both played last week coming off the injuries against Eastern Randolph, and it looked like Emmanuel made it through the game pretty healthy. Lorenzo came off toward the end limping. What's their status? How are they feeling? What are they looking like for Saturday afternoon?
They'll play Saturday. We sat them out today. Just let them kind of have get mental reps today, but I think they'll practice tomorrow and they'll be fine. I told somebody, I thought the whole purpose and reclassification and all that stuff was to have a shorter season. And here we are, 15 games, man. And I think us and Kinston are the only two out of the 16 teams that didn't get a bye. So we both rolled right from the regular season into 5 games of playoffs, and both of us have had 4 on the road, and it takes a toll on the bodies, but I think we'll be fine. The only one we definitely won't have is JJ.
Right. And talk to me about Jalen Tate. I mean, that's a kid that got hurt, kind of a fluke injury, non-contact injury on that turf in Lincolnton back on the regular season game after he scored the touchdown in overtime. Had a big game that night against Lincolnton and then hadn't played at all. And then I was surprised to see him dressed Friday night. And, of course, he did get in the game for you. But how's he doing and what's his status for Saturday?
He's got a torn ACL.
Yeah.
And a lot like Kate Hollifield. They just braced her up, and if she could endure it, she could go. And so Jalen's in the same boat, and he's been fighting it, been wanting to play, and he'll come out to practice and do a few things. But last week playing Lincolnton, I think he wanted to play because of what happened last time we were at Lincolnton. So he dressed, and he practiced all week. And we got there, and we were up, and I saw him go in, and I looked at Damon, and I was kind of like, he said, man, sometimes I got a soft heart. I said, me too. So I'm fine with that. Put him in. And he had a run, and of course he fumbled the ball, but I was glad he got to get in, at least give it a go. I don't think he'll dress this week. He didn't dress today, so I think that was just a one-shot deal to try to give him a little bit of closure, so to speak, on the whole Lincolnton deal.
Absolutely. As a senior, you hate to lose, your season at any point, and certainly good for him to be able to do that. All right, let's turn our attention to these Kinston kids. This is a team that no stranger to Shelby. We ran up against them. I think we decided it was in the 2015 season. Interestingly enough, that was the same season we played Lincolnton in the Western Finals, and it was also one of the seasons where Crest also made it to the state championship the same year we did. So a lot of similarities, and that was 10 years ago. What are your thoughts about those kids?
Man, they are big and athletic. I think they're offensive linemen. They got 2 tackles that are somewhere around the 280 to 300 pound range. They've got a receiver in the Copper. Can't remember his first name, but NC State, I think he may have already signed with them last week.
Yep.
But he's going to NC State. He's a 10'8", 100-meter guy. He's like 6'2". He's a good-sized kid. Then they got the other kid, number 5. I can't remember his name, but he's going to Marshall. He's a 6'5". He's a basketball kid. But then they got other receivers, the running backs, good size. They got a safety who is freakishly fast. So they have got some athletes out there. And, we're just going to have to figure out where we want to fight our fight. Are we going to try to go after him and not give the quarterback time to throw it? Or are we going to try to drop back and cover all of them, or maybe do a little bit of both from time to time? I don't know. But it's going to be a tough game. The hard thing is, and somebody asked me this about Lincolnton, when you play a team twice, and the thing I told them is, in the playoffs, you watch film, and you watch all these other teams, and you really don't know how fast or how big or how physical a team is. But when we played Lincolnton, we knew all that because we'd already played them. Well, here we are with Kinston. It's the same deal. I don't know. It's hard to tell who they played. It's hard to tell how big they are. I know the Max Press may say he's 6'5", 210, but is he really? So I don't know. And, how fast are they? It's not a track meet. We're not going to run the 100. You got to be able to shift and move around. And what some people don't realize, too, is everybody gets caught up in how fast your skill guys are, but how fast are your or how mobile are your linemen? And how agile are your offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers? So, I don't know how all that stuff's going to fit in. I know they're really good. They've lost 4 games, and I really can't figure out how they lost 4 games with the talent that they have. But we'll see. I think it could be a lot of scoring. I think their quarterback is number 1 in the state, maybe, and Land is number 2 in some kind of categories. I don't know if that's 3A or all classifications. And then I think the Copper kid is 100 yards or so short from breaking the state record.
Yep.
receiving yardage and maybe a touchdown or two. I don't know, something.
I think it's two touchdowns to tie and 100 yards to break the
Yeah.
receiving record, yardage
Yeah.
record.
So, that's kind of a challenge to our guys. Don't, kind of like somebody's throwing a no-hitter against you. You want to be the one to break the no-hitter. Well, we don't want him. We don't want to be the team he breaks the record on. So, and he may do it. I mean, he's really good. And I've told our DBs already, I said, look, there's probably going to be a pass interference because they throw the ball 70% of the time. It's bound to happen. So we got to shake it off. I said, they're probably going to make some catches in some plays because they're good. But we just got to play the next play. We got to just make them snap it again. Don't give up the big play. Let them – because sometimes offenses will mess up. We just keep making them – don't let them throw the touchdown ball. Make them throw it 10 yards, tackle them. 5 yards, tackle them. Then maybe they'll mess up. Maybe we get a pick, a deflection. You never know. Something will happen. So that's kind of what we're up against with Kinston.
I think one of the keys in this playoff run, especially for that defensive side, is that you're getting pressure with Noah and with Tyson a lot of times, and you're not having to bring extra guys because they are forcing that quarterback to make some kind of decision in the pocket, whether it's to step up, to step back, to roll out, whatever, because they are getting up the field so fast. I know you said they got a couple of big defensive or offensive linemen, but how good are they at pass protect that they're going to be able to handle these two defensive ends you got?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're right. Noah and Tyson they're pretty special. I think Noah's a freakish athlete. I've told a lot of people if the decathlon were in high school event,
100%.
he would do it because he can jump, he can throw, he can run sprints, he can run distance, he can do whatever. And he is just a freak of an athlete coming off the end. And then Tyson, I think what you've seen out of Tyson is most of the regular season, I was kind of like, all right, I'm waiting for you to turn into what I'm thinking you're going to become. And now he has. I think these extra playoff games, the light has come on for him. He's figured it out. So yeah, we're gonna try to get some pressure with 4 guys, and then sometimes we may have to add one more to the package to try to get 5-on-5 with the linemen. The quarterback, I don't think he's not as mobile as a Lincoln quarterback. He's a big quarterback. He's probably 215 pounds, probably similar build to Land. But from what I can tell, he's a very rhythm quarterback. He's going to catch. He knows where he's going to go. He's going to turn. He's going to let it go. So we may not be able to get to him as fast as we want, but we got to try to make him uncomfortable some. But yeah, we're going to have to. If Noah and Tyson can do it, and we don't have to rush with the linebackers and let them play some coverage, that'll be definitely beneficial to our efforts to stop their passing attack.
Coach, excuse me. I'm glad to hear you say that about Tyson because I specifically felt like in the Eastern Redenoff game, I felt like I heard his name 100 times, especially down the stretch. I have 2 football questions, but they're different than Dad's. So my first one is this.
Well, you're dressed different, so I'm sure they're different than that.
Exactly. And I felt like I was being shut out because of what I was wearing. So let the hard-hitting journalist get in here. I want to actually literally know, how do you keep your composure in a game like the one against Eastern Randolph? Because I was losing my mind. So are you losing your mind, or are you trying to show calm to the team? How does that work for you? Because I've seen you. You don't always show calm, but I mean.
Yeah. I was. The Eastern Randolph game is unlike any I've ever been in. I think the final stats were 18-3 accepted penalties, but it may have been 20-4. But it was, I don't know. You get to a point, you yell, and they're not listening to you. And then sometimes I think, I got to help my kids keep their composure.
Yeah.
And so as the head coach, if I can at least show calm, maybe they'll have a little bit of that themselves. If I show getting rattled and getting all fired up, then that may get to them. But I mean, I think sometimes I just get to a point where I'm almost numb. I'm like, what the heck? I might as well just quit saying anything because it ain't going to matter. And before the game, I met with the officials, and the officials said, "Hey, coach, man, you got a great crew here tonight. We're we've been selected to do a state championship game. I thought, okay, good. Man, that was not a state championship performance in my book.
Do we know that who they're
This ain't
officiating?
NFL. I'm not going to get fined or anything for criticizing.
Yeah.
referees. But no, they're not doing our game. I don't know which game they're doing.
All right, so
I've already looked. I've already looked.
I believe you, Coach.
no, yeah, we don't want to run back into that crew. Here's my so thinking about. I've always thought about this. There's got to be some sort of strategy to how you communicate, though, because you don't want to start off quarter one yelling at the officiating crew. I imagine like you kind of work your way up to it. Does it matter about the offense, or are you thinking like first quarter, first half, I'm kind of taking it slow, like maybe just trying to.
I'm usually talking to the guy who's standing on our sideline first.
Right.
I'm like, hey man, look, I want you to watch. Number 10 is getting ready to come off the edge, and they're going to hold him. I want you to see it.
Right.
All right, God. I said, and then I'll say something like, no, you can throw the flag. You don't have to wait on those guys. You can throw it. Or I'll say, look at that guy. He's lined up off sides, or he's going in motion. He's going to go upfield too early. I said, just watch it. I'm kind of getting in their mind.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, some of these big crews, you got a 7-man crew. Some of these guys on the sideline are with a ref or an umpire behind the linebackers who are older, maybe veterans. And
right.
Some of those guys on the side are usually, they're not new, but they're newer. And I think sometimes they don't want to show up, the veteran guys sometimes.
Right.
I don't know. Oh man, that Eastern Randolph game, that was, because I was just like the two plays that got me. One is when the referee is helping Noah get his shoulder pad, jersey back on his shoulder pad. I'm like, how do you think it got that way?
Yeah.
Right.
And then number two, the late hit on the quarterback or whatever on the interception.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
That was a perfect hit. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
2 hands to the chest.
It was perfect. And it was not
That-
late because the ball went straight up in the air. I'm like, that gave them a touchdown right there, because if we get that interception, they don't score on that drive. So
I hadn't tuned into the game yet, and Dad just sent me the recording of the hit, and I just texted back, bang. Yeah, I thought he was just sending me a good hit, because that's all it was.
I thought it was perfect. Yeah, I thought it was perfect. But it turns out that kind of adds to some of the adversity we've been through and kind of gotten our guys a little bit calloused for some of the stuff they face.
There you go.
Maybe we'll face this Saturday.
All right, Coach.
Euro Dave.
Let me just ask a follow-up question on that right quick. Did you send any tape or the entire tape in on the Eastern Randolph game, or how'd you handle that?
Well, the officiating association, they request our games, so they get them. But I don't know if it does any good.
Okay.
So but the former head of officials for the state. Did you read that?
Oh
Yeah. We talked about that on this pod. Yeah, we let them know.
I know
Coach
Foreman used to have an option to mark people off, so hopefully you know everybody's name on that group. So
He used to say, I used to hear him on the headsets every Friday. By gosh, I'll just mark you off. You will never come back to Shelby. And I used to be a younger coach and think, can you really do that? But yeah, you can.
Coach, if my math is right, since 2012, every class has won one state championship. So this is the year that we need to keep it alive. I'm wondering if anybody's even talking about that, and if that's something, because such a rich tradition at Shelby. What?
He's talking about it. I heard him in the interview with the high school OT.
Okay, well, yeah. So I was wondering if you're talking about that, and then 2 questions in one. I think Kinston hasn't won since 1957 or whatever, and I'm wondering if do Shelby kids feel like it's just an earned thing that they're going to get here and they're going to win because these kids grew up with it, and is this a motivational tactic of like, y'all haven't won nothing in the last 4 years, so let's extend it. So maybe I answered the question for you. Sorry.
No, but you're right, because I talked to the senior class. I have them, they come over a few times a year to the house. So last summer when they came over, we talked about, I said, hey, look, guys, every senior class with the 2013 team, every senior class since then has gotten to experience a state championship victory. I said, y'all have not. I said, so I hate to put pressure on you. This season will be successful whether we win it or not, but that needs to be a little bit of a motivation for this year. And but to go to your second question, D-Ray, I don't know. I think our kids expect. They know it's possible. They know if they work that's definitely a possibility. But today, Derek Key at the end of practice, I was getting on him about, guys, we got to focus. We got to finish the race. No foolishness in the locker room. I said we got to all be dialed in. And I said, because you're not guaranteed you're going to be back here next year, you underclassmen. I said, this may be your only shot. And Derek Key stood up. He was like, yeah. He said, we've been doing this for it's our 4th year. We haven't been here yet. He said, we're finally here, so you better enjoy it and you better appreciate it. And so they understand. I think it's I don't know if it's kind of an ambiguous answer for you, but yeah, it's kind of expected. But on the other hand, this class has never experienced it. So they're kind of like, well, dadgum, we finally got what we've been working for, and they're enjoying it. And that's one of the things I tried to encourage them to do yesterday is enjoy the week, because this doesn't happen all the time. I know we've said that before, Shelby, but it'll happen again. But we got to enjoy and appreciate the state championship week, because you'll look back and the week will be gone. I just told them to take in every day and enjoy the assembling of those 57 players, because this is the last week those 57 players will be together as a team. And after this week, though, we'll start working on 2026. And seniors, you'll go your separate ways. It'll be a memory. So enjoy it.
Absolutely. And the one thing that's new even for you guys as coaches, and as you said, you've already won a couple. This will be going for number 3 for you, is, the press conference even yesterday was at the Grandover in Greensboro. Never done that before.
Right.
Now you're going to play Saturday at Durham County Stadium, and I'm guessing D-Ray's probably the only one of us in here that's been in that stadium, although you may have been there for other reasons, but you hadn't been there for a state championship. So you don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what the facility's like, don't know what the dressing room's like, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you've been working on the who's getting a pass and who's going to be on the sideline and who's going to ride on which bus and all the things that you don't need to worry about this week. Right. But I know that's got to give you a little bit of an extra excitement this time around, just because of some of the unknowns.
Yeah, the whole Durham County thing, and I get it, I understand whatever with the facilities, and like I told our players, I said, number one, it's a 100-yard field, it's 10 yards, it's first down. I said, we cross the goal line, we get 6 points. I said, it's the same game. But the second thing is, we've been to Mount Airy, which I'd never been to. We've been to Eastern Randolph, which I'd never been to. And so just add this one to the list. So we've kind of made it work, not really knowing what's going on, where we're going. And we'll do it again. But people I've talked to say it's a decent facility, and it's not Chapel Hill, or it's not State or Wake, but it'd be a good big high school venue, I guess you could say. I think 8,000 people that seats. So looks like parking will be easy. Free parking. I don't know if that's the same deal at Chapel Hill. I bet it ain't.
We usually have to pay to park at the other places. So
now you'll be parking on the hills at Durham County, but you'll be parking for free. So
yeah. So I'm looking forward to kind of a new experience, getting to play somewhere else. But it'll be fine.
Well, we're going to let you get out of here with that, because we've kept you probably longer than we expected, or you expected, no doubt. But listen, nothing but the absolute best from the 3 Allen boys, because I'm going to tell you what, we are 100% with the Golden Lions and with you, and we just we're so excited for the opportunity for you guys, and can't wait to see what happens on Saturday.
Good luck, Coach.
I appreciate it. I know y'all bleed black and gold, so I appreciate it.
That's
Absolutely. Right. Coach Mike Wilbanks, gotta love it, with us today on 2 Daves and a Mic. Coach,
see you guys. Thank you.
See you, Coach.
Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Awesome to have Coach.
I don't like
on.
that zoom in.
Yeah.
I don't like that zoom in. Zoom back out.
Now you're seeing what's going on here with the hat?
It got a little too close for comfort.
Oh, you gotta love it. I'm gonna tell you though, the one thing that he talked about that I have to tell a story about. So he was talking about the pressure on Lan as the Shelby High School quarterback. Probably can't tell this story without crying.
Lord. Clearly, yeah. You got it.
Y'all know how I am.
Yeah.
People on the pod don't know how I am, but this is how I am, really.
They're learning.
We were at High Brighton in 2018. It was the year after Michael's senior year, after we had won 4 in a row. And we went to High Brighton, and they were really good. But we were better, and we did not win the football game. It was a devastating loss for Shelby as a team. But I went on that field that night, and Malik Surratt, which is one of Michael's really good friends, was the quarterback that year. And when I went to hug Malik, he absolutely, all of his weight of his body just collapsed as I was holding him. And both of us were crying. The pressure on that kid to win that game, because it was 5 in a row, drive for 5, and everybody had said it from day one of everything.
Yeah.
The pressure that kid had on his head to win that football game and to take us to another state championship and win another state championship. I knew it was bad, and I knew it had always been bad for the Shelby quarterback and for the Shelby studs, daddies, and all that kind of stuff. But it was not until on that field at High Brighton when I had the entire weight of an 18-year-old in my arms did I finally realize how hard it is to be the quarterback at Shelby High School. And so, Land Farmer, I'm with you, brother. And I wish you the best on Saturday.
Yeah.
Man, we simply can't cut this as a social clip with me in the middle looking like this. I mean,
also, the other thing too is like this is gonna be sent to Malik, and so if you hear this, you're still a punk. Like don't think that we're all just all. That was really sad. That night was really sad. I was sad too. But don't go getting a big head. The DA's had his world shifted about
Malik
you.
knows I love him, so it's all good. But I just, so best of luck to the Golden Lions. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that the Crest Chargers are also playing at Durham County Stadium on Saturday night. It's an 8:00 start for them. I really don't think the state helped us out with that 6-hour space between. The Shelby fans, I know there are some that are just going to go out and tailgate with some people from Crest, and they'll go back in and, pay another $20. Or somebody said if they stay in the stadium, they don't have to pay again. I can't imagine game being over at 4:00 or 4:30, and they're going to stay in the stands till 8:00. I don't know.
Dude,
maybe it happens.
You think about it though, man. How much are tickets going to be? $20?
$20.
I mean, you got a family of 4, and you can save $80 by staying in the stadium. You might stay in the stadium.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how that goes for them. But
Dad,
anyway.
Tickets at the gate, or do our listeners who are planning on making the trip over from somewhere in the Triangle, do they need to purchase tickets ahead of time?
That's a good question. I think typically they have been pre-sale tickets available at both schools, and there have been tickets sold at the gate as well. I'm betting, though, check the NCHSAA website. They may have like a GoFan electronic tickets situation. So
it's also unlikely to sell out.
Oh, I would.
No, it won't sell out.
Here's the thing. I would guess the Crest game could sell out only because of the Shelby people staying.
No. I mean, it didn't. I mean, I was at the championship game of a HBCU conference football game, and there were 5,000 seats available. I mean, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but you also say that, and because you've been to Shelby High state championship games.
Yeah.
All the people that haven't been coming to the regular season games that I've been fussing about every week show up to the state championship.
I know. I think it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to sell out, but
not that we need to go on 5 more minutes of state championship talk. One of the things that is generally disappointing about playing at one of at Wake, Carolina, or State, in my opinion, is that you pack the place out.
And it doesn't feel like anybody's in there.
It feels like it's empty. Yeah. It's the most fans that have probably been to any of your games all year, and you look around and it feels like nobody's there. It's kind of a hard environment because of that reason.
Yeah.
So maybe it won't feel that way at Durham County. We'll see.
I think Durham County's 8,500. So it probably won't sell out, to D-Ray's point, but it might be packed. So
I hope so.
We'll see. Anyway, we got to go. Best of the rest of the 6-pack. Just real quickly, we'll hit. We're probably going to cut some of this stuff out, but a couple of things that we definitely need to hit in addition to our Golden Lions. We need to do CFP talk just a little bit. I know we're basically all moving toward the direction of being out on college football in general, but surprise, were you shocked that there was not a perfect field selected and, not everybody was happy?
Definitely not surprised. Obviously, I've already shared like some of the discourse on Twitter is like just 16. We need 16 teams, or 24. We need 24. I mean, this is going to now be a problem for forever and ever and ever. It is starting to make you think to yourself just a little bit at least. Was the way we had it so bad? Was it really that bad to just take the two best teams, have them play against each other, and then have everybody else play in a Premier Bowl game on or around New Year's or whatever? It makes you think. I think one thing that we can probably go ahead and all stack hands on, though, this is the example I use, college basketball. Do we think that the best way to figure out the best college basketball team is to have them play in a loser-go-home 64-team tournament? Probably not. It's probably not the best way to figure out who the best basketball team is in college football. In college basketball. Is it awesome? Is it tradition? Are we used to it? Yes. I think we got to stick to our guns and ride this wave out. And 10 years from now, I hope that we can all say, is it perfect? Is it the best way to do it? Probably not. But it's tradition, and it's how we do it, and it's what we do. So that would be my advice to the committee. But David, I want to hear your well researched and
I mean, grass is always greener, because this is a year where there were 4 clear cut best teams. I actually agree with Michael in that we probably wouldn't hear a lot of complaining. Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech probably would have been a top 4. Oregon, Ole Miss, those guys were on the OLI. Now, I just want to propose this. I think all these teams, Notre Dame is already bowing out, and I don't care about those bowl games, the Hawaii bowl games, whatever. They should be awarded the bowl game, and they should play it the next season. That should be the first game of the season. We should move bowl week to September, Labor Day weekend. And if you don't make the college football playoff, then Notre Dame, you were pissed that you got left out and you didn't want to play BYU now, and all your kids were going to leave. Play BYU to start the season and get a good non-conference win, and let's go forward. I don't know, like something's got to give, because the games seem to not matter as much right now. Like Indiana, Ohio State on Saturday night just didn't have any juice to me, because I was like, one of you is going to be 1 and one of these is going to be 2, and who really cares? So I was still a hater. I was glad to see Miami got in, but I thought they should have gotten in over Alabama, not Notre Dame, personally.
Right.
Yep. I think I definitely agree with that. And, I think the whole thing about, Ohio State lost the Big Ten championship game and they dropped. BYU lost to Texas Tech in the Big 12 game and they dropped. Alabama loses to Georgia, and horrible fashion, by the way. They had -3 rushing yards, lost by 3 touchdowns, and they didn't drop. And I think, you can say, well, we beat 4 top 10 teams or whatever they did. And I think the other problem is that Tuesday night show they made
100%.
If they hadn't been ranking people all along, nobody would have said anything. But when you've got a Notre Dame ahead of Miami and BYU and, whatever, all the way to the end, and then all of a sudden you throw them out, it just doesn't make sense. So,
hey, but one thing, again, as Michael said, we can all stack hands on is we're riding the wave. And so we're pulling hard for Tulane and our Shelby
That's right.
boys. We probably would be pulling for them regardless, but we're definitely pulling for them now. It sucks because I honestly would have been pulling for Ole Miss to win without Lane, but be pulling for Tulane hard against in their matchup against Ole Miss.
Absolutely. And that's, again, if you missing it and you're catching it for the first time, Jack Hollifield's the starting center for Tulane on offense. Santana Hopper is the starting defensive lineman on the defensive side of the football. And they are both excellent. And they are two key factors for Tulane. They are not sandwich eaters down at Tulane. They are for legit making things happen for those guys. So best of luck to Tulane against Ole Miss. And Michael, your nemesis, JMU, snuck in because of the Duke win in the ACC. That's another thing. The ACC has got to get their tiebreaker situated so that at least the highest ranked CFP school gets a chance if there's a tiebreaker involved, because there were like 5 teams tied for that spot that Duke ended up winning, and I don't even know why Duke ended up winning that spot. Honestly, I have no idea.
Well, how is it possible that Duke in a tiebreaker had 2 common opponents against one of the teams that they were tied with in the Atlantic Coast Conference? They had
Because you don't play each other.
That's what I'm saying. How is that?
Yeah.
Like, they got to figure it out. It's so, and that's what drives me crazy. It feels like that anybody with any sense could have figured this out, but the people who run these conferences just got no clue.
Well, and a lot of times you don't think about stuff until it actually happens. So I suspect they will fix it and it will never happen again, but may not need it again. Well, you never know. All right, moving on. I don't even remember what I had next. I think I had the Hornets next, didn't I? But you said we'll cut that.
We can cut the Hornets. I just keep getting tickled because I keep looking at David Ray, and there's something new happening right now.
What's that?
I don't know, but it's like maybe it's just that I had gotten used to it, and then I would see you listening to Dad. It's really getting to me.
I keep doing this right here, and I feel like that's when I really feel.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything to say about the Hornets other than that recently I've been trying to freestyle in the shower.
And like Carolina Mike.
Yeah, dude. But what I've been trying to do is just go through the roster and come up with a bar for every guy on the roster.
Okay.
So anyway, that's something in the works that the people should know about.
Let's go.
Yeah, it'll come to a SoundCloud near you eventually.
Awesome. Panthers, biggest thing that happened over the weekend with the Panthers is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost, and they are now tied for the NFC South division title, and they play 2 of their last 4 games against the Buccaneers. So bottom line, Panthers have got their destiny in their hands.
Yep.
They can win the NFC South and make the playoffs, and then, you get in the playoffs, you never know. So, we'll see what happens there. D-Ray, what you got on that?
I got a yellow notepad because at one point today, my idea was to just embarrass the hell out of Michael by saying a bunch of stats that he wouldn't know, since sometimes he comes unprepared. But I'd like to say one quick thing. Phillip Rivers got signed by the Indianapolis Colts today.
Yes.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I play a quick game?
Sure.
The game is called, is Phillip Rivers closer to my brother or closer to my dad in age?
He's 44. I'm 29, so I'm 15 years away, and Dad's not 15 years older than 44.
13
so
years
Dad,
away.
yeah.
All right.
Well, Michael. That's in line with the stat that I'd like to give. Which, first of all, by the way, it seems like he might actually play, which is insane.
It's crazy,
because apparently he's practiced 3 days in a row, which apparently is not normal. I don't know. What I want to tell you, let me find it in my notes right quick, is Phillip Rivers is older than 12 NFL head coaches. That's what I wanted to say.
Wow.
All right, so here's the key thing to the Phillip Rivers thing. He and Coach Steichen for the Colts were actually together in Los Angeles or San Diego when he played for the Chargers. And he is the coach of his son's high school football team. They run the same offense as the Colts do. And he has been weekly throughout the course of the season been calling Coach Steichen to talk about offense, talk about the plays, talk about the play calling, all that kind of stuff. So the 2 of those guys are like this. And so I think when they realized they needed a quarterback, the one that made the most sense, that knows the language, that knows the offense, that knows Coach Steichen, was 44-year-old been retired since 2020. Phillip Rivers, former
Dude,
NC
that's
State Wolfpack.
That's
Yeah.
a good story.
It is, and it makes it a good fit. But also, if Phillip Rivers was doing that little half-arm sling 5 years ago and it wasn't working, I'm not worried about the mentals. I'm worried about the physicals. But I hear you.
I don't know either. They played the Seahawks this weekend, so they better put in a package where they keep two guys in the backfield to block, because he's going to need all the help he can get.
Wait, also, just real quick, the Daniel Jones injury, he's torn his ACL. Is that correct?
Yes.
No,
Achilles.
Achilles. After a fracture 2 weeks ago that they decided that he would be playing on.
I think it's
opposite leg.
In opposite legs, yeah. I think he
All
broke
right.
the leg on the left, and then he tore the Achilles on the right.
No, that might even. I was going to say that might even support my argument better. Like, I feel like it's like, and I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I feel like you can pretty easily make a case that, like, when something like that happens, you start walking in a different way, overcompensating, and that's how you end up tearing your Achilles. Like that. I'm just saying, I'm a guy wearing a hoodie and a beanie right now, like talking into a $45 microphone. Yeah, David, right? Thank you. But I'm saying we've got these medical staffs. Like, come on, bro. Like sit the quarterback for a couple of games. I don't know, and I don't know how long it would be for a fracture, but still.
So how about your boy T. Higgins? Just missed a game or two games with a concussion. Evaluated in game 2 different times for a concussion and was cleared to continue playing in a game that he scored 2 touchdowns. And now he is out again with a concussion.
Yeah.
So tough break and tough injury situation all around the NFL. But how about one other quick point? A stat that y'all probably didn't hear, but you might have. Jalen Hurts turned it over with 5 interceptions last night, or 4 interceptions last night, but he turned it over 5 times, one of which was or 2 of which were on the same play. He became the first player since 1978 to turn the ball over twice on the same play.
Oh,
Wait,
so they did
stat.
find someone who had done it, because last night during the broadcast they were like, "We have a guy trying to find this and we can't." So we're not sure it's ever happened.
I think they found the guy that did it in 78.
Okay.
Wow.
So, unbelievable. And the Eagles now have lost 3 in a row, and
They
it's
stink.
kind of starting to look a little bit like 2023 and not 2024 for the Eagles. So we'll see. Maybe there is still hope for my Cowboys to catch them. I doubt it, but you never know. All right. Fantasy update quickly, and we'll finish off the 6-pack with the fantasy update. Very quickly, I think I've said enough that my team over in the BAFL is terrible. I think we ended up winning 2 games in the regular season, did not qualify for the playoffs. However, my Manly Football League team, the defending champ, Kenwood Cadavers, did win the division and did make the playoffs, along with D-Ray, who's the number 1 seed in that league. Michael had the entire team on a bye this week and took a tough loss and is not qualified for the playoffs in that league. So what's the other breakdown on your guys' teams this year?
Well, I just have I'll tell you that I made the playoffs in every league other than the MFL. So I'm ready for a playoff run. I'm primed for a playoff run. Here, I just want to get off a quick fantasy take, which is that we are now going into what I would say are the most unpredictable 3-week, 4-week stretch of the NFL season. Aside from buys, guys who are on a good team that's primed for a playoff run, once you start to get some clinches figured out, it won't take much of an injury for you to consider not playing, maybe consider load managing, etc. Teams are going to start to be cautious either because they're going to definitely be in or definitely be out. But somehow it's the time where, and I understand it has to work this way, but it's the time where fantasy football matters the most. I did also start one of my leagues in the playoffs last week and lost with Bryce Young and Rico Dowdle on bye, which feels just kind of stupid. But But I don't know. I just think that there are flaws in the fantasy ecosystem. I'm not coming here to suggest solutions. I'm just thinking that I think that we should all start thinking about problems. And I think that the way that the playoffs work is a problem. I don't know how we fix it, but I think that it should be considered. Thank you.
Well, I don't know what league you started the playoffs when people are still taking a bye, but that's
Last
a
week.
mistake. Whoever's
I
running
know.
that league, you need to get that squared away.
I'm going to take my time to say I'm in a good spot. I'm excited for my leagues to see what happens. Will Bryant missed the playoffs in the Bad News Bears by 0.3 points, 1,404 points scored. He lost by 0.3, and he actually lost to the next seed by 1.8 points. And that's a bad beat to end all bad beats. So shouts out to Will. That's a tough way to go out.
That is definitely a tough way to go out. All right, quick buys or sells, and then we'll get into our draft. I'm selling people that take fantasy so seriously that they just act a fool. And y'all know who I'm talking about. And if he watches our pod, he should know who I'm talking about too. Fantasy football should be at its core a way for you and a bunch of your buddies to enjoy the football season together. And I've been in a league, as y'all know, for 35 years with primarily the same bunch of people, a group of the same bunch of people. And part of the reason we do it is because we like each other and we like spending time with each other and talking junk to each other and whatnot.
And it's fun.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm selling. Don't be the guy that does like Notre Dame and takes the ball and goes home.
I love it. Good take. David Ray?
I feel like I'm in an outfit where if I did this, you guys might. I could be like I'm getting news in.
I'd be like, sir, there's a beignet somewhere that needs to be protected. Guard the croissants.
Guys, I got to buy this week. I was actually sad to see that Dad tweeted about it today because I'd actually been working on a big plot. And if you want to go see this, just go look at Alan D. Allen 15 because he did some tweets about it. I'm buying who I believe to be the two most important people in Cleveland County sports the last 20 years. That's Dale and Diane Hollifield. What that family has produced. Because again, Dad, I swear to you, I started this 2 days ago, and then I saw that you actually tweeted out a family tree for somebody. Because listening to these Shelby High football games and hearing that there are yet again more Hollifields is one of the most jarring things in the world. And to know that Aubrey has more children that have yet to come. I mean, that are yet to get to the high school is beyond me. And I was initially going to say, is Aubrey Hollifield the most important person? But Coach, you're not, because it's your mother and father. They have produced some ridiculously talented children and grandchildren. And I don't know what they eat in the Hollifield house, but that's my buy. Dale, I think it's the first ever person buy. So I'm buying Dale and Diane Hollifield. Shouts out to them. And again, I would like to say, if this gets cut and sent to them, I'm wearing this as a joke. This is not how I normally do the pod.
Hey, just to be clear, though, since you brought it up, Aubrey has 5 children. Dax and Jack both played football at Shelby High. Dax was a starting linebacker at Virginia Tech for his career. He has now graduated and moved on. He's working for NASCAR now. That's Dax. Sorry, I don't know if I said Jack. Jack is the starting center for Tulane that we've mentioned several times. Isabella did not play a sport. Actually, I think she did play volleyball for maybe one season, but she's an artist and she's outstanding, but she's graduated high school as well. And then he has 2 younger daughters, Ellie and JoJo. Ellie is a baller and will be leading Shelby High to a state championship in something, probably basketball and maybe in track or cross country, because she is a baller. His brother Ryan, his 2 daughters, Kate and Allie, are both still in the women's basketball game in college. Kate is at UNCW and Allie is at Western Carolina. They both led Shelby to a women's basketball state championship, and their younger brother T is a sophomore starting left tackle on the offensive line, and at this point I think he's also a starting defensive tackle as well. He is a big boy. And then their youngest brother is Andy. His oldest boy, Drew, actually won a state championship at Shelby, then was a double football, basketball player at Western Carolina. He's given up football and is only on basketball now. And his younger brother, Landon, is currently a starting linebacker and a senior for Shelby High School on this football team. And they have a younger sister who is a volleyball player. She is still at a middle school. So that's the group. You got to love it. That's awesome.
That is awesome. This is going to officially be our longest pod ever.
100%.
It's fine.
We should.
It's all
we
good.
just
It's
need to
all
go
good.
ahead and put it in the name, and not
DA
worry about.
Cries is already it's leading the way.
Yeah.
That's
I think we
I'm
got to
just-
go Shelby High preview for the clicks. Here, I think I may have shared this with you two already, but this week I'm sharing the name the Tush Push. I just think that's such a weak and loser name for a play that's going to be ran as often and as much as it is in the Eagles offense. And also like somewhat across the league now. Like I know obviously the Eagles have made it famous and are the most proficient and probably use it at the highest clip. But like it's not irregular now that you see the play ran. And I hate the fact that we've landed on Tush Push is what we're going to say that we're calling it. So again, I'm not here suggesting solutions. That's not my job. What I do is I sell things, and I'm selling the name the Tush Push. So if you have problems with it, take it up with my boy Chancer right here. Take it up with the kitty cat.
Well, in Philadelphia, they also tried the brotherly shove.
Way better.
But that
I like that more.
That never caught on, I don't guess.
Dude,
But
also
you can't really use that one anywhere else. So
yeah. The other thing, man, is like we get it. If you don't like the play, that's fine. Like we don't need you tweeting 40 times a year to change the rules or whatever. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. They probably honestly, I feel like if they were going to, then they would have.
I mean, bottom line, it's still a quarterback sneak.
That's all it is, man.
Yep. All right, we're going to draft Christmas movies tonight. Top Christmas movies. Pretty simple. It's a great category. Not to be confused with TV specials, because we talked about that too. David Ray didn't think there's enough of them. I think if you Google that, you'll see there should be enough of those. But
has anybody thought about the fact that years to come, assuming we're doing this podcast in the future, we are screwing ourselves by doing all of these. Like we're never going to have a Christmas topic again after we do some of these. We might need to slow our roll on them. Maybe do one Christmas this year and then leave Christmas carols for next year. I don't know. Something to think about.
That's an idea.
no question, that's probably a good idea.
All right. Well, Dad, you won a landslide last week, so congrats to you. Something that's funny is I heard from a lot of people last week about the draft of Nativity 3v3, and very few people voted because I think people were really taken aback by what did they just do. Like people were interested, but they didn't vote because they didn't know how to vote. So
Can
congrats.
I give a quick shout out? I think it was Nick Larry.
It was Nick Leary, yeah.
Nick Larry commented, Dad wins with the three wise men, even with his selection of the baby, and then parenthetically, can't even hold the ball. It's very rare that I read something with my eyes that makes me laugh out loud. And that is one of the few times this year that I read a sentence that made me laugh out loud. So shout out Nick Larry.
Yeah, baby Jesus doesn't need to touch the ball, though, honestly. He can make it happen either way. So, all right, so Christmas movies, I won. I'm 1-1. And, I mean, y'all know where I'm going probably with my 1-1. Probably some other folks is 1-1, but it may not be either one of yours. I'm taking Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase, my guy.
Yeah, not on my big board there, so you can have that.
Wow.
It was
Not
on mine,
your
Dad.
big board.
It's on mine. Don't worry.
Can we define the difference between a Christmas movie and a Christmas
Mike,
special?
that's what the committee is for. I want this to be a more regular part. You say a movie, and then there's the committee. It's the two people who are not a part of it.
Okay.
We will decide. It has to be unanimous.
Okay, well, also, we should have overruled the three wise men last week.
We should have, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's okay.
but-
It's all
Do
right.
y'all think that actually helped me to win?
I think so.
100%. I think
Some
I think
people
that's why
said
you won
what
it
great
on the
value that Dad got there,
Yeah.
Well,
but
it was
whatever.
great value, but come on. I took baby Jesus 1-1. That's the reason I won.
Can't hold the ball. All right, I'm gonna take Home Alone right here in my one spot personally.
Great pick.
Man, how
So
many rounds
far,
we going, D-Ray? What did we decide?
4 rounds.
4 rounds. Okay.
So, yeah, boys, I feel good. I'm getting my first overall pick here, but I will say you guys took my second and third, so I feel like we're in a good mood here. I'm going Muppets Christmas Carol with my first pick.
There you go.
Just a tremendous film. Like literally, go watch it. It's the only movie that I watch every year, Christmas wise. And then I'm going to take Elf in the 2 spot.
Elf, a classic, no question about it. Will Ferrell. What was the line from the Muppet Christmas Carol? Where Marley and Marley.
Yeah, used to terrify me as a child. That's right.
Yeah, we're just we're tapping into the trauma here, Dave.
All right, Mike, back to you.
Mike, up to you.
All right, kicking back to me, I'm going to go ahead and take what probably is my favorite Christmas movie, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Stole that one right there because I was getting ready to take it. Katie and I had just talked a little while ago, and she said that was her favorite, so I was going to snag that one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a high-quality pick. We talked about this kind of prior to while we were waiting to get on with Coach Wilbanks. This one's probably one of those that people say is not a Christmas movie, or they will argue that it is or it isn't. I'm going Die Hard. It's a classic. It's a great movie, and it's certainly set during the Christmas season.
Yeah, I agree. That was on my list. So,
all right, Dad, one more from you.
Yeah, I think I will. I'm thinking I will take the classic Tom Hanks, The Polar Express, at number 3.
It's a pretty good list you got there. All right, Mike, we move to you.
All right, we are getting into nearing the end of my list.
Really?
I'm gonna take one that I'm looking for an answer here from you too on if it's a special or not, because I don't really know what a special is. I want Nestor, the long-eared donkey. Can I have Nestor? Neither of you seem familiar, so I think I'm going to be able to take.
I'm familiar with Nestor, but I think that's. Hold on. I'm sorry, this is not good podcasting, but I don't know if that's a movie or not. It's a Christmas animated television special, Mike. I can't let you have that. It says it in the title.
That's brutal, man. We're never going to draft specials, man. Just let me have this.
Hold it. We will at some point. It might not be this year. According to D-Ray, we need to save some topics for future drafts. But, dude, you were starring in one of the greatest Christmas movies ever. You got to take it.
I think because of that, I'm going to let this sit. Like, I think there's something about what, for the listeners, Dad is talking about A Christmas Story. I played Ralphie. Also, I did that show a million times. Like it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show for like every weekend in December.
Yeah, you did it for like 3 weekends, sure enough.
Yeah, I think I legit did that show like 15 times, and we also practiced it since like July. And I was also Ralphie, so I talked constantly and had a million lines to memorize. Like, honestly, whenever I think about that, I think about eating Red Baron pizzas, in shotgun of the blue Camry, which is still with us, miraculously. And then I just get like a pit in my stomach. So I won't be drafting Your Christmas Story. That can fall to one of you. What I will be drafting is Klaus. It's on Netflix, I think produced in 2021, maybe even a little bit earlier than that. It's the first time we watched it for the first time last year, and it's the first time that I've seen something in a long time where I've been like, I want that to become a tradition. Kate and I watched it as we put up our Christmas tree this year. I cried. It's a sweet and excellent movie. I recommend.
It is very good. Mom and I watched it last year. And early on, I was skeptical, but it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael, you had a great idea for the pod, which we forgot to do this week. So moving forward, let's try to remember.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I just wanted to say that I did see Hamnet in theaters this weekend. I have not cried in a movie in 2.5, 3 years. I have not cried in a movie theater, and I don't know how long. I cried for about 30 straight minutes in Hamnet. I would recommend it was very tough. So just want to.
David Ray, Would it surprise you to learn that I was brought to tears in Now You See Me 3?
Mike, come on, bro. Don't say that to me.
I wish we had taken, dude. Now You See Me 3, guys. If there's a movie theater in your town, you should go to it and give them $13 to watch Now You See Me 3. Get a medium popcorn and a Coke or a Coke Zero. Kick your feet up and just get ready. Get ready for the show, man. That was. I want to watch it again. I want to go back and take Kate. I told Kate the whole plot last night. I want to go back with her or the two of y'all. Y'all want to go?
No. All right. I'm going to round out my draft. I'm going to go with It's a Wonderful Life in the 3 spot. And then I'm going to go with a movie that I'm going to guess neither of you have seen, but in my opinion is a Christmas movie, which is Little Women in the 4
That's
spot.
one of the ones that I saw on the list that I had no idea, because I have not seen it. And I had no idea that it was a Christmas movie.
All right. Michael, go back to you.
All right. Well, you've got me in a real bind here.
If it makes you feel any better, I think there's only one obvious pick left of one that I think everybody would expect us to pick.
Is it The Ultimate Christmas Present?
It's not. It's not that. No.
All right. This was a Disney Channel original movie from the year 2000. The Ultimate
Is that your
Christmas
pick?
Present. Yeah, this was the one where the kids make the snow machine. What an awesome movie. I mean, like, honestly, put it in the chat here on the Spotify. I learned we have comments. Go ahead and put in the chat your favorite DCOM. Personally, Luck of the Irish was always a big deal. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. I said, listen to this. The other night we were having this conversation with a group of buddies. I said Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off was my favorite, and somebody said, I knew you were going to say that. And I felt really known by somebody saying that. That was really High School Musical before High School Musical. But yeah, I'm taking The Ultimate Christmas Present.
So was the original High School Musical, was that a Christmas movie? Because didn't they meet over Christmas break?
New Year's Eve, Dad.
Wow, it was New Year's. It was
New Year's Eve.
Oh, New Year's. Okay.
Dude,
All right.
what a high potential for a poll right there, though, Dad.
Yeah. All right. So I'm taking A Christmas Story. I mean, how can you hardly not take a movie that every year TBS runs for 24 hours straight, Christmas Day? I mean, come on. Red Ryder BB gun. Let's go.
Yeah.
I think we left 2 off, which would be The Grinch and Love Actually. Those are the ones that I think people would be mad at. Some people think Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone. And then the only other one is a recent entry is The Holdovers, which I think I like as a film more than Little Women potentially. But, well, you could make a case that they both have equal amounts of Christmas in them. So I could have taken The Holdovers, I guess. I don't know if you guys had any other OLI.
Well,
Nah, dude.
I got one that's it's a non-Christmas movie, kind of like Die Hard, and that is Trading Spaces. That's an old Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd movie that is I love it. It's a good movie, but it's also a quote unquote Christmas movie. So that's one for me, and I think I'll just go with that. Honestly, as my OLI.
Yeah, listen, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I googled for my last one. I was surprised to have some of my picks taken in this draft. I did realize that I had written down Unaccompanied Minors, so I suppose I should have taken that in my 4th pick. But I really didn't think that I was going to get robbed on Nestor, to be honest. It's a beautiful story. Y'all should really tap in.
Thanks.
You might cry. Well, honestly, Dave.
Oh, listen, I'm in the mood tonight.
I know,
obviously.
Dad. You need it.
All right. So, hey, recap real quick. Golden Lions, Saturday, 2 p.m. at the Durham County Stadium in Durham. They will be playing Kinston for the state 3A championship. It's a $20 ticket. It's also on Sinclair Media in the Charlotte metro area. That's WCCB in Charlotte, channel 18 on the DirecTV dial, because that's what I have. If you're in Raleigh, I'm not sure where Sinclair is, but across the state, the games will be televised. And I saw an interview with Q Tucker. she was saying that's one of the reasons why these odd times is because they didn't want games to overlap. So the 1As and the 8As play in Kenan Stadium at Chapel Hill on Thursday. There's 2 more on Friday at Kenan at 4 and 8. Then there are 2 games at Lenoir-Rhyne on Saturday. One of those is Brevard and Reidsville. That'll be a good game.
Wow.
And the other one is Tarboro and Murphy. That'll be a good game. And then, of course, the Shelby and the Crest games are at Durham County Stadium. So best of luck to the Cleveland County faithful that are making those trips. Be careful and do all that kind of stuff. And, hey, Juice and I, maybe me and the boys will have a breakdown on Saturday. We'll get Juice on here no matter what. Actually, I was supposed to have Juice on tonight, and we got excited with Coach Wilbanks, so I'll have to apologize to Juice, but he'll definitely be on our Saturday recap pod. So that's it for 2 Daves and a Mic tonight. Peace.
Peace.